Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And today is, can you believe it? It's almost the end of January 2025. Oh my goodness. It is Thursday, and we're just doing another velocity banking review. So, what is velocity banking? All it is a debt payoff strategy where you throw all your money into debt with the help of a line of credit. So here we have a budget of someone who makes good money, right? $6,000, remember, is about $100,000 a year. And this person makes 6,900 after taxes. And then the expenses are $6,806. So we only have a little bit of under $100 left over in our savings. And then if we look in our expense breakdown, we have two credit cards, an auto loan, actually two auto loans, two student loans, a mortgage. And I actually didn't know this until I looked at my own old student loan records. But I actually had three student loans, right? It's like, I think like one federal and then two private or something like that. I don't even know because nobody explains it to you when you become a student. And they just said, hey, take the loan. Like, all right, I'll do it, and then you realize the whole thing is a giant, pretty much a scam, right? Pretty much. All right. So now let's go ahead and do this. And so in order to do velocity banking, we just almost create the same budget, right? So I'm going to copy the income and expenses. So let's go ahead and do that. And what's really important is that we don't save money. So you see the savings here, but we're going to have an idea called cash flow, which is very similar to savings when we do velocity banking. In fact, if we take a look at my bank account statement here, you see that every single month there's a zero balance there because when money comes into the bank account, I just throw it all into something called a line of credit. And so, what is a line of credit? All it is a financial tool where you could borrow money, pay it back, and then use it over and over again. So, for example, this is a home equity line of credit. And what I can do is I can literally go to a bank's website, click a button, and then I have $280,000 available for me to use at a 7.5% interest rate. It's really cool. I didn't even know these things existed before I ever studied velocity banking. But we're just going to assume we have access to a line of credit. And in this case, we'll maybe say something like, I don't know, $65,000 in available limit. So think of it as like a $65,000 credit card. Okay, $65,000 credit card, but unlike a credit card, you have no restrictions what you can use the money on. All right, so I know for some of you, you might think, "Oh my goodness, $65,000 in lines of credit. That's incredible, right?" But for me, it's like, whatever, because right now I have over $579,000 in lines of credit. In fact, I can't even remember how much I really have, just because I got too much, and that's how you know when you have rich people problems. And here's the secret to getting lines of credit. Banks don't lend money to people who need it. Okay. So if you're ever in this situation right here where you need money, they ain't gonna lend it to you. So if you want a more realistic case study, go ahead and click the 99 cent membership below, and we go over them. Like there was one person who had 22 debts and $4 left over and had a maxed out line of credit. But the most important thing is that that person got the line of credit before it was ever needed. Okay. So, but we're going to start off with this unrealistic assumption right here that we have a $65,000 line of credit available. And then if we do this and add up these two credit cards, how much is this? 35 plus 25. And I think it should be 60K. 60K. Okay. So what we're going to do is just move this here. So this is 60,000. And guess what happens when we move the 60,000? Oh man, someone's calling me. Give me one moment. So my bad. I'm back. All right. So $60,000 line of credit, or I'm sorry, transfer into the line of credit. And guess what happens to these payments when you transfer? Oh my goodness, these go to zero. And we literally went from $93.17 to $2014. How do we do that? Must be magic, right? And so, what we do now, the final step is that we put our paycheck into the line of credit and then we take our expenses out and then we rinse and repeat over and over again. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. And we're going to get the next month's balance, which is based on the previous month's balance plus the previous month's interest minus whatever our cash flow number is. So 2014. And then I'm going to take the average daily balance, which is going to do this. That's how the interest is calculated, multiply it by 0.08, and then divide by 12. All right, so now, and then um, okay, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and copy these. And if you don't know what the goats are for, it's because each goat represents that we're the greatest of all time for every month that we do this, right? And if you don't know anything about me or this is your first time watching the channel, I did pay off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. In fact, I take a look here. This is a goat here, goat there, paid off my mortgage, total amount due 0, 2 years and 9 months. And, sometimes I say it and I don't even believe it. Like, people call me a liar on YouTube. This is a lie. I'm like, I don't believe it either. I'm just looking at it. Too quick. Even ChatGPT says too quick. All right. So let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to zoom out so you can see the progression where the debt is paid, income in, expenses out, income in, expenses out. And then now 34 months, right? 34 months, this is completely paid off. So let's go ahead and do this 34 months. And this is 60K. And I'm going to now we have to figure out which ones to pay off of these loans. And we have 2 auto loans, 2 student loans, and a mortgage. And the easiest way to figure out how to pay off the debt isn't necessarily by interest rate, even though interest rate is an easy way to, it's a good way to figure out which debt to pay off. But the easiest way to figure it out is using something called the cash flow index. So if you don't know what that is, I'll just briefly show you. So basically all the cash flow index is a number. Think of it like a ranking system, and the lower the number, that's the one you want to pay off first because you get more bang for your buck in cash flow. So for example, if I pay off these 2 loans first, these 2 auto loans, I actually get as much cash flow or may possibly even more than the mortgage, right? So paying off these 2 loans, and let me just do this. And let me just do this right here. I'm gonna do this. Okay, so if I paid 27 grand off, I get $1,000 of cash flow. Whereas in order for me to get $1,181 of cash flow, I have to pay 210. So which one gives me more bang for my buck? Paying off these 2 loans. That's all the cash flow index means. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these 2 auto loans into the line of credit. And I'm going to just do this here. And we're just going to move 27 grand. So plus 27968.68. Okay. And then now this is going to be 0, 0, and our cash flow is now $3,000. Whoa. Oh, I can't believe this is real. So just like I can't believe it's not butter, even though those products are supposedly bad for your health because it's fake butter, aka margarine. 3156.26. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this. And now we see that in 43 months, the 2 auto loans are paid off. Amazing. Okay. Amazing. All right, let's wait a minute. I lost my train of thought. So this is going to be in 43 months, right? All right. 43 months, and then how much in auto? So it's 60 plus 25 plus 16, and then that'll be 101K. And then I'll copy and paste. And then now 43 months, okay, in 43 months, we got to figure out what the loan balance is. So this is 0, 0, 43, 43, 43, right? And all right, so now let's take a look. So we have these student loans, we have the mortgage, and then that's pretty much it. So if we take a look at this cash flow index right here, you'll see that it's not below 50. So the safest bet is regardless of the interest rate, if it's below 50, you're okay moving in. But if you have above 50 and especially above 100, okay, you kind of want to be a little bit conscious of the interest rate. And the safest way to kind of attack the loan, regardless of the interest rate difference, is what we call the chunking method. But I'm gonna be lazy today. Well, actually, should I be lazy today? Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move this one first, this $10,000 because that's the lowest balance. But look at this, we only get $174 back in cash flow for that $10,000 balance, and also it's at a 7% interest rate. So it's not gonna make that big of a difference, although I feel like we might be putting some money on the table. So let's move this 10 grand into the line of credit. So I'm gonna move this 10 grand here, and I'm gonna do Control V, and then this is gonna be plus 10778.39, and then I'm gonna do this, and I am going to go to here, put 0 here, and then now we have $3,000 in our cash flow, 3,330. And I'm going to do this, control copy and paste, and then now it's 3330.42. And then let's just keep copying and pasting. And also we got some goats here. We got to copy and paste. And then now in 46 months, right? So 46 months. So this is now 0. This is now 46, 46. Okay. So like I said before, the higher this number is, the much safer it is to use what we call the chunking method. So I think I'm okay moving this into the line of credit. It'll be fine, although it's not going to be, I don't think it'll be optimal, but we'll just move it into the line of credit. And I'm going to do this right here. So I'm going to plus this. Oopsie. Okay, so now this is plus 23,984.87. And then, so what's our new cash flow? All right, so our new cash flow is, this is 0, $3,718.99. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Control V, values. All right, so now I'm going to do this. It's going to be 3718.99. And then I'm going to copy and paste. And we see that in 53 months, it's all paid off. All right, sweet. All right, so let's do this. 53 months. And now it's 101 plus 35 plus 15, which is 151K. All right. So we did that, and then now the mortgage, okay, the mortgage, it's 220,000, and we have to figure out what the balance is at 53 months. So let's go to the loan calculator right here, 53 months, and then we see that it's 204,000. Okay. Now, again, we're going to use what we call the chunking method, which is just moving a piece of the loan into the line of credit. Now, if the loan and the line were the exact same interest rate, I'd move the entire thing into the loan, or that could be a possibility, right? But if there's a huge interest rate difference, I wouldn't move the whole thing into the line of credit. And for some reason, doing the chunking method is resistant to the interest rate, pretty much. I don't know why, but it's a very amazing thing. And the reason why you might want to do that is so that you have make it easy for yourself, even though this is your last loan, and you don't want to what you call segregate your income. Okay, and I might probably make another video about this of what segregation of income is, and kind of the thought and psychology and process of how people become broke as they get more debt rather than paying it off and using a debt as a stepping stone to get things immediately then rather than saving money, right? Because why do we get into debt? It's because no one has $200,000 for a loan to pay cash for a house, right? Very few people do. I don't even have that money. I only know one person who has like $2 million in their checking account, right? So let's go ahead and do this. So 220 grand. Okay, 200. Oh, let's all right. So let's open up the velocity banking calculator. Give me one moment. All right, so we have the velocity banking calculator open for provided by Renatus. If you don't know what Renatus is, it's an educational online platform company. So if you're interested in not only learning about velocity banking but upping your financial literacy and real estate investing game, click the Google form link below. Full disclosure, I make money every time you buy. All right, so now let's go ahead and plug it in and put in the information. So I'm just going to do this right here. And I am going to plug in this 220 is the original balance. So what's the current balance right now? It's 204,358.83. 204 204,358.83, 30 years at what's the interest rate? 5, and the payment amount is 1181.01. So 1181.01. We're going to move $7,000 to the line of credit. And then monthly income is, what is it? It's everything except for the loan we're trying to, well, the monthly income is 6,900. And then the expenses is everything except for the loan we're trying to pay off, which is $2,000. Whoa, 3.9 years. That was the quickest I've ever paid a mortgage. Not really. I paid mine in 2 years and 9 months, but I've said this so many times. I feel like, it's so normal to me that I just don't even care anymore. And that's where you want to be, right? Like, oh, I paid off my mortgage in 2 years, 9 months. You know? Just kinda say it nonchalantly. Have the people that you know kind of ignore what you just said because they don't wanna address it, and they feel really uncomfortable hearing that because they're probably broken in debt, but it's okay. No worries, no worries. Alright, so now alright, so just do this, 53 divided by 12, or 53 divided by 12 plus 3.9. So 8.3 years, and then we are debt free. Okay, 8.3 years. All right. Well, that's it for today, everybody. It's our Velocity Banking everyday review session. And yeah, to be honest, like I've never actually have done this or anything in my life as just being consistent as this, just making a YouTube video every single day. And I am so much better at this stuff now because I don't know if you knew this or not, but sometimes just getting started and not even understanding at the beginning is like the best way to learn. And so, I know some of you are out there and are like, I need to know everything before I get started. No, you don't. You just, first of all, how hard is it to do a budget, right? Income, expenses. And then, right, then there's certain more trickier things like, calculating the payment of a credit card or a loan, but they have websites that do that for you, right? And then just kind of calculating cash flow, dump your income, expenses, doing it over and over again. Folks, don't make this harder than it is, right? And then you too could be making that sweet, sweet YouTube money. So I got a paycheck of I think $340 last month from YouTube, which is pretty sweet. It's like a car payment, right? Or it used to be. Okay. All right. Well, that's it, folks. This is a Korean Atlanta mentorship. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.